All right, we are live. Merry Christmas, happy holidays. It is Christmas Eve, December 24th. We had a big Monday night football game last night where the Packers took care of business. Playoff implications all over the place. And I am joined by my guy, Flash from Costa Rica, as I am in Niagara Falls. Flash, playoff drive pick six show. How you doing?
Merry Christmas, Jimmy. Merry Christmas to everybody else. Yeah, it's a hot day today down here. It doesn't feel like Christmas, but they're telling me it certainly is. Last night, what did we learn? Kirk Cousins 0-9 in the Showtime game. So listen, I really put a line through him. I'm going to put a line through him through the whole of the playoff picture. But the big one for me is going to be the 49ers and the Seahawks, because the loser will go to the Eagles. Wow.
Yeah, it's a funny spot, that game. And, sure, the loser plays the Eagles, but the winner gets the bye. And that is hugely, hugely important. Shout out to the Captains that are joining us. Moses Saucedo, Joey Harb. We got Ick Schnizzle in the
Go on the Schnizzle.
house. We got Ick Schnizzle ready to get to work here. So a lot to get through. I've locked in my picks, and I fell off this past week. Well, I would have been the Steelers screwed me. 2-unit play. I still would have gone 4-2, but I made the mistake of jumping on the Marshall train with everybody. I didn't 2-unit make it my 2-unit play, but I jumped on the Marshall train, and that hurt me. So I had a 3-3.
Well, Ragu and Big Boss on when I did the college games, they said that they thought 17 and a hook was far too big. So let's get on Marshall. Let's get on the under. And yes, and I don't know anyone that wasn't on Marshall yesterday. So I mean, you was in good company. I look at the game last night, and I think to myself, wow, how can you have any faith in the Vikings? And also going forward this week, are we taking a leap of faith, Jimmy, on who's going to actually play?
Yes, that's where all my study was spent, focusing on. Now, I also got killed in Week 17 last year and had a very good season, was up double-digit units going to Week 17, then got destroyed. Then I swept wildcard week just to get back to where I was going into Week 17. So I pretty much know how I'm going to handle things now. And let's get started, Flash. But let's get started by celebrating the cashers from Week 16. And the number one overall in Week 16 was Beavis. Beavis. There was no butthead. This was just Beavis. Beavis plus 7.22 units. The top six from Week 16 cashers all found a plus unit situation. And Beavis was the best. Beavis jumped on the Jets plus 2.5 at plus 115. Nice. And he bet on the Dolphins at a pick'em at plus 107. That gave him a 7.22 units, which is a very high score. In fact, I was going back, and I don't have all the stats, but I think it may be the highest score we've had so far. There's AM in the house. AM.
Jim, yeah. Can you just rewind there? The top man has basically coupled up the Jets and the Dolphins in the same week.
I started, if I had a fully gone on my own this week, because I work with a couple different NFL cappers, and they were so high on the Steelers, and I started drinking the juice. And you should not trust. It's one thing when you trust a quarterback like Duck Hodges. I know Rudolph came in, but trusting them on the road is a mistake. Trusting young quarterbacks on the road is a mistake, and I felt for that mistake, and it was, it was upsetting to say the least. It was a mistake, but
I did the same. I followed Kirk Cousins. I was in great shape. I was 3-1 going into last night's game. I had a 2-unit play on the total, which obviously died. I had 1 on the Vikings. I was all in on the Vikings last night, thinking that they would produce when they had to, and 0-8 record. I thought this trend has got to be bucked, and no, 0-9 for Kirk Cousins.
Cousins just can't deliver the goods. But again, I do think that if everybody believes exactly what they saw in that high pressure game and completely writes off the Vikings in wild card week, that can be a mistake also. And we'll get to that. We will get to that. I fell for it also. Let's continue celebrating the week 16 cash winners. One under at 7.13 units. Some 14 plus 7.12 units. Mike Normal plus 7.10 units. Shark Bite 8 plus 7.07 units. And Auto Donk. I know Auto Donk for a long time. He's in all of the SBR contests. Auto Donk 6-0 plus 7.06 units. So congratulations. Beavis pulls in $600 for his excellence in week 16. And then now we get into the overall leaderboard, Flash. And Vortex 00 has
been there a long time.
He's been there. Well, it was Tanko was for the longest amount of time. Tanko's now in 8th place, 21.60 units. But Vortex has been there for 3 weeks. He's up 0.99 units. 0.99 units, which isn't, it's not safe. It's not safe when there's multiple thousands of dollars up for grabs. I'm going to just take a quick look at exactly – because I was looking at Vortex, and I don't even think – so one of the things that cappers do in a situation like this is they don't go – and you don't have to bet all 6 picks, right? You don't need to – you can hold off a little bit. I mean, who cares about the single-week prizes? You're thinking about that $6,000 winning casher. So let's just take a look at what Vortex did last week, because there's a lot of pressure on Vortex. Everybody's going to be wondering what his plays were, and exactly what I thought. Oh, no, he did do a full week.
You've got to do a full week at the top, surely, because the people behind you, they're going to do a full week.
Yeah, but it's week 17. You know what? Okay, for me, now we're going to go through our picks. I made a bit of a mistake, I think, with my 2-unit play, because as soon as I was panicking to get the Niners before it went to 3.5. Yeah. And so I got it at 3, and I should have. But the Bears at +7. I can't bet that right now. It's off the board at a bunch of books, but it's on the board in the contest. The Bears at +7, I think it should be my 2-unit play. I don't think Oh, there's Dan Kelly in the house. Thank you for joining us, Dan. I don't know if you necessarily need to. You got to use strategy here, but you're right. 0.99 units is not a big enough spot. See, Minnesota's locked into the 6th seed. This game is meaningless for the Vikings. They should use it as a bye. And we'll get into our own plays here, but week 17 is hard, man. There's gifts, which I think the Bears +7 is. Okay. Because the Vikings are going to rest everybody.
But they don't. Do you know what I mean? It's still not a nice game to go in and give the Bears points. I mean, we look at these and we just got to – I think you've got to go with the mentality of the teams that are already locked are going to have to rest. Going to have to. I don't care what people say, they're going to play them. Are you crazy? You must be crazy that if you've got teams that are going into the wild card and they've got an opportunity to rest their stars – are carrying knocks, they are not going to play. And I'm going with that philosophy.
I agree, but there's only one coach who's locked who says we're going to play, and that's Bill O'Brien.
Right.
Everybody, all the other coaches have given us an idea that they're going to be resting players, which is what I expect to have happen. And we'll start breaking that down, our individual locks and picks shortly. But the overall leaderboard, Vortex has a 0.99 unit lead on the cheese, and the cheese is new to this spot. It's funny. I've had a bad year. I'm 40, 43, right? Let me get to my. I'm 40, 44 and 3, which is bad. But my action points, I keep losing games by a half point, and then I smash my winners. There's only one person in the top 20 who has higher action points than me, which is I've had
someone that actually cares.
Okay, you're right. But your action points are shit.
I know. Yeah, but I've got a winning record. It's crazy, isn't it? When I get beat bad. My 2-unit plays has been my killer this year.
I don't believe minus 3.51 units is a winning record, Flash.
But you have a look at my wins to losses.
Yeah. Good thing we use units to decide how we succeed.
But I go to the bookie and go, well, look, I did win one.
All right. Okay. So on the overall leaderboard, the cheese isn't the only one catching Vortex. Fonzo 04 up 26.04 units. So he's just down 2.29 units. But there's the top three. And then David in fourth, plus 23.77 units. TJH, plus 23.5 units. Harder. They're going to have a tough time. They're going to need almost perfection to get up there. It looks like it's Vortex, the Cheese, and Fonzo fighting for that number one spot. We got Rye Cape joining us as well. And Dan Kelly said, I looked to meet you for a Sabres game, Jimmy, but they're out of town. Yeah, I took a look at that. But don't worry, Dan, we've got lots of Sabres games in the future. I absolutely love going down to Sabres games. Let's move on to the SBR Forum Notables. And the SBR Forum is a spot that we do a ton of capping on. And these guys, the notables, have been strong all year. Vortex 00, he's one of the SBR Forum notables. It's a fun spot to be in. Dan Kelly, you can see in the SBR Forum as well. Vortex 00 leading the way. David and Hardabar, so 1, 4, and 6. And then there's Tanko. There is Tanko. Oh, there's SBR Forum as we speak on the SBR Forum. As we think of the notables, there is our guy, Drew from the SBR Forum. The guests are in 9th. The Woj, whom we love dearly, he's a guy who runs with us in the low bag crew in 11th spot. We have linebacker 67, Machiavelli, Silk Eck, excuse me. So those are the SBR Forum notables in the top 20. And we're going to be doing a show in early January where we're going to review the contest, and we're going to see if we can get some of these guys, especially like the winners, to come on the show.
Oh, they'll be on. They'll be on.
Yeah, I hope so, because it'd be fun to hear, what their strategy was, what worked for them, what didn't. Schnizzle says, I got to say this is my first year sports gambling. I've learned a lot through the ups and downs and appreciate all the help from the chat and people at SBR. Love the shows. Thank you, Schnizzle. Thank you, my friend. We love having you in the chat. We love hanging with you. Okay, so then we get to our SBR personalities, and it was a very frustrating week for the top guys. Big Ragu was in 26th place moving into last week. He was up 16.44 units. Now he sees himself in 68th place, up 11.94 units.
That's great.
It's going to be hard to get into that top 25. Bowl season is tricky. Week 17 is tricky. This is a tricky time. DJ Big Boss also with both of those guys had their 2-unit play on Marshall. DJ Big Boss now 277, Babano 301, Whale Capper 1407. And there you are, Flash 50, 46, and 0, down 3.51
Roll
units.
on next year already.
Well, no, but I mean, you do have plus units.
Well, yeah,
right?
you told me how good that was.
Plus units, at least. I was on my way to getting the plus units, and last 2 weeks ago.
Week 1.
week one, yeah.
That was a long time ago, Dewey. That was 17 weeks ago.
It's been a horrifying contest. It's been a horrifying contest.
I've loved it. Win, lose, or draw. It's been great.
It's been so much fun. I like this. I like moving into the pick six. The first year of our pick six contest, I've enjoyed the move over from beat the prick to pick six immensely. I like having all the cash up for grabs each week and all that stuff.
Done a great job.
They have. But I mean, look, I'm 132 action points and I'm under 500. It's a joke, man. Al Mack, Natalie Rydstrom. I need to catch her.
Where's she at?
She's 1,728, but she's 38.40 and 2. She's down 5.31 units.
Oh, okay.
So and then Al Mack down 6.9 units. Anna Merrick down 7.44 units.
Was Al Mack sitting on top of the tree at one stage for us?
Al Mack was dominating. He was dominating, and then he slipped up. He had back-to-back 0-6 weeks.
Wow,
which is just devastating. And also you lose all of your confidence.
Yeah, you do. No, you do.
So
I mean, I had that 0-6, and like my wound is just healing now.
I get it, man. I get it. I can't heal any of these wounds. The gash just keeps widening.
Well, that's because you're putting new ones on top of the old ones. You're finding new places to like.
It's awful. So then I'm there, 40, 44, and 3. My 2-unit plays have been a disaster.
Yeah, mine have.
I'm down 11.52 units. What a joke. But I'm ahead of Drew Martin, who's down 14.10 units. Teddy Covers down 14.46 units. Donnie Rightside down 17.9 units. And Parlay Poppy. Parlay Poppy is down 31 units. Parlay
But
Poppy.
is there a prize for coming last?
You know what? It's pretty unbelievable what Parlay Poppy has managed to do in this contest.
Yeah.
And I know that football isn't like his sport or anything, but there are. So if you look at this whole thing, like where he stands, I'm gonna go right to. There's about 12 people behind him out of 2,480.
Are we grabbing some solitude out of Poppy here? Are we like, come on, then? At least
you know,
as bad as Poppy.
Yes, I am. I'll do whatever I need to keep a little bit of confidence. And but this is just a horror show. What Parlay Poppy has performed here, and it makes me feel better about myself. Why wouldn't it, Flash?
No, of course. If we can find that little inkling of confidence elsewhere, then feast on it.
Oh, well, I'm not saying it's giving me confidence. That's going.
Well, we'll soon find out when we get your picks.
Yes, and I've studied hard trying to figure out exactly the angles, and I wanted to bet immediately the Bears. But out of 2,490 contestants, Parlay Poppy's in 2,478. So he's beating 11 people.
And they're probably not even surf anymore.
He's beating 11 people. But it's been a tough year for Donnie and Teddy and Drew, and tough year for me. But
no, it's a tough game. You just got to ride the wave.
Yes. Well, let's talk about riding that wave right now. Let's get into our units, 2-unit plays. Let's start with your 2-unit play for Week 17, the final week of the NFL season, and both Flash and I have focused on NFL. So, and I'm telling you, I really think that Vortex, who's in first place, because there's college bowls going on throughout this week, he should. I know you're going to want to beat some market moves, but I certainly wouldn't. I don't think he needs to get all his plays in. And I think he should wait to see if the other guys have college football plays and if they're succeeding. At this point right now, the only person in the top 10 who's put in any plays is the guesser.
And you think that Vortex is going to be like sitting here thinking, right, I'm going to take advice from Jimmy?
Yes, I do. I think Vortex is thinking, Jimmy, how can you help me? Please help me, Jimmy. And if I was Vortex, I would be keeping a close eye on whether or not these guys in the top 3 have any picks pending.
When's the closing date? When do they have to have their picks in by?
Well, it depends if you want to be eligible for the Week 17 prize. So you can still, I'll put the link in. You can, even if you're watching this and you're not in the contest, you can still get in the contest.
Come join us.
$1,600 up for grabs in Week 17. So just because you can't get the season-long wins, it's no thing. But yeah, Monday's the final day, next Monday. And if I was Vortex and I saw the Cheese having a play, it might slow me down. Christopher Reese. Sorry?
Would you be able to duplicate it? Can he see the play?
No, you can't see the play until kickoff. So no, there's no duplication possible.
Good,
no.
good.
It's a smart move. Christopher Reese saying BYU the better team. They are the better team, but when you're in Hawaii, it gets tricky. This is a tricky bowl season, and Week 17 is tricky. Well, let's start breaking down our NFL looks here for the final week of the contest. What is your 2-unit play, Flash?
I'm going with the Titans. Titans -4 against the Texans. I don't even see the Texans needing anything. They've got to rest up. I see a few players the other day banged up. The Titans, they've got to go and try and win the game. So for me, I love the Titans at -4.
Do they have to win the game?
They have to win. They have to win to give it any chance at all. I mean, I'm looking at the standings and I'm thinking, right, okay, what are you going to be getting out of this? And you've got the Bills that have locked it up. So now if the Raiders win and you've got 8-8, you've got the Steelers at 8-8, and if they lose, they'll be 8-8. So if they win, they're in 9-7. Bang, they are in. Because the Steelers, they're 8-7. The Raiders would be out. So I think it'd be the Bills and the Titans who would go through.
Clearly, nobody wants to play these Titans, and they're playing to win. The win gets them the 6th seed.
You've got to be thinking that the Texans are going to use this as a bye week. Please.
Well, they can. They're not eliminated with a loss. You're right. They're not.
They've locked it. They've won. They've already locked up the AFC South. So that's it. Done. Finished.
No, but I mean the Titans are in with a loss. They can win with a loss. All they need is a Steelers loss and the Colts loss.
They've got to go and win. Then they can't really rely on other people when it's in your own hands and you're playing against a team that's got nothing to play for. They're the spots that we look for. All right, we've had to wait till week 17, but listen, we got to go with the Titans. Got to.
No, it makes sense, and you have to think the Texans will fight for a little bit. The Texans will fight for how long they'll fight for first half.
No, I don't even think they start.
You don't even think they start?
No.
Well, that makes sense. Your 2-unit play makes sense. AM says Texans this season a loss, win-win, loss, win-win, loss, win-win, loss, win-win, loss, win-win, which means this would be a loss here. Yeah, okay, I hear that. I hear your 2-unit play. I think I might have rushed. And Ryan Cape says I took Tennessee last night on Live Line when Flash mentioned it. The next spot for me, my 2-unit play is the Niners -3. Home field advantage is extremely important, and I know the Niners are dealing with injuries. We've been talking about it, but if Chris Carson's not there, Procise is not there, you're telling me that Marshawn Lynch and Robert Turbin are going to come back off of the couch and do anything? It's a dream. It's an absolute dream, and you don't have Dwayne Brown, who had knee surgery, so it's a slight meniscus tear. Slight, they say he's going to be out for at least 3 weeks. The Clowney with the core injury that he's been dealing with. You got Shaquille Griffin with the hamstring that are going to return. There's not going to be Condre Diggs is not going to be in the lineup. This is just too much, and I might have forced it by making it my 2-unit play, but I needed the Niners -3 on my card, because you can't bet it. I can't bet it at -3 right now unless I pay for it. And I'm paying for it here by -123. This is the big game to end the season. What do you think of me back in the Niners here?
Well, my second play is the Niners -3 at -123. So, yeah, I was close to making it I just see them as having to lock up and get that home field and the bye. So for me, I'm happy. I'm happy to go with the 49ers.
Yeah, same here. My next spot is the Bears +7. In retrospect, I wish I made this my 2-unit play. Minnesota locked in the 6th seed. I know this is meaningless for both teams, but it's not really meaningless for Trubisky. Who knows if he has a job next year?
Would you want me just to interrupt you there? Because 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 boards have just come back on, and it's the Bears +1. The Bears +1 and the Bears pick'em.
Wow.
So
what a miss.
6 and 7 point ahead of the ball game. We're just waiting for Pinnacle now in the tops and you wager. But the rest are already up. 5 dimes go pick'em at -103 Chicago, and Bookmaker +1 at -114. Bet Online +1 at 110.
Yeah, it was a smart move in the contest. Anyone who did it, but I should have made it my 2-unit play.
Well, you're 6 points ahead.
Yeah, it was a smart. It was ridiculous, and I wish I could have betted it +7. Obviously, it was off the board, but +7, I've already beat that market move by 6 points. That's how you succeed in this contest in week 17. And the only way I would feel better about myself is if probably I had the Titans on my card, and secondly, if I had made that my 2-unit pick. So. Yeah, it makes me look good.
5 dimes and Pinnacle have both moved the Titans from a -4 to -3.5. Yes, you got to pay for it, but they seem to be just trying to suck it in there. And I think they're believing that the Texans are going to play. There was too many limping, too many coming out of the playbook. So for me, I think the Titans. If you get a free, then you're ahead of the game.
Yeah, no, your play makes sense. It makes a lot of sense. And I just, Bill O'Brien saying he's going to be, trying hard and working hard and all that stuff, I find that very, very difficult to believe. I think you made a good spot there. But clearly the Bears +7 was the best possible thing you could have done in this contest.
Well, without a doubt. Well, do you want me to go for my next one?
Yeah, let's hear it.
I've gone with Tampa. -1 home to Atlanta, the Falcons. I think to myself that Tampa, they put points up on the board. I think they'll exploit this Falcons defense. And I mean, I've actually doubled it up because I've actually gone with Atlanta and Tampa over 49 as well. I think we'll see a royal shootout on the last meeting of the season. I mean, Tampa are scoring muchos points every single week. So I don't see anything changing here. And you know that Atlanta with Matt Ryan, they can put up points as well. So I've gone with Tampa -1 and Tampa and Atlanta over 49.
You know, I thought closely about that look. And, I mean, Tampa did not put up mucho points last week. They put up 20. But their team total overs were cashing week in, week out, week in, week out, week in, week out until then. But now with the injuries to the wide receivers, that was almost my final pick on the board. And I took it off. I noticed the market moving down. There's now 48s on the board. I still might get on it with you. I just don't feel like that's going to be a game where they're concentrating on defense. So I can understand the angle. Seeing the market move down to 48, thinking about Tampa last game against the Texans, you know, I don't know. I get it. I absolutely get it. But I did not make that. That did not make my card. But, you know, I'm going to keep thinking about it, and I'm interested in the over as well. My next look here, and this is tough. This was tough, but I took the Packers -9.5. The way I see this spot, it's kind of simple. Detroit season's over, and the Packers have to win. You know, they have to win to get the bye week. That makes them at least the number 2 seed. They have to win convincingly to ensure that the Niners have a little fear, because if the Niners lose and the Packers win, all of a sudden the Packers are the number 1 seed. Can you believe we're saying that out loud? That the Packers could be the number 1 seed in the NFC?
Well, I've liked the Packers all year until last night when I went against them, and I think the Vikings killed me more than the Packers beat me.
Yeah. I put a sizable bet on the Packers at +5. I needed I was in kind of a tight spot, and I'm here in Niagara Falls, so I wanted to watch the game.
Was you? You weren't thinking about getting the old armbands on and jumping in. Wasn't that bad.
Yeah, I'm thankful for the cash there yesterday. So I'm on the Packers -9.5 in Detroit. What do you think of that look? Do you think that's too many points, Flash?
No, I don't, because the Packers they definitely throw the ball. I don't see any resistance to your points, to be honest. And 2 scores. I mean, I suppose I'd still probably go for it if it was 13.5. To be honest, I think you win by 2 touchdowns.
Well, that makes me feel good, because it's funny how you'll make a bet, but once you start saying it out loud,
I get that.
I said that out loud now 9.5, and I'm a little concerned. All right, so you've already dropped 4 plays, so let me give you my 4th play.
9.5.
Yeah, it's 9.5.
5 dimes have gone -14. Bookmaker -13. Bet online -13. Bet 13. The only one hanging at -9.5, and it's probably because they've not adjusted their book yet, is Heritage at -105. Pinnacle off the board, Intertops, and New Wager all off the board. The number is looking like being around 13.5 to 14.
It's amazing. Week 17 of the season, I can understand why the top 6 or 7 would have trepidation locking in their picks. But if they had gone on the Bears and the Packers, they would be smashing these markets.
Oh, yeah, without a doubt.
Wow, that's wild. You know, I just looked now to see the 13. I'm shocked at it. So I'm at -9.5 at -105 for the
so you're in great shape. Shape.
That makes me feel very good. I didn't know that until you mentioned that there. The next spot that I jumped on is what we're talking about. And this does come with trepidation, but I'm expecting the Bills, who are locked into the 5 seed, to treat this like a bye week before the road playoff game. You know, in Houston, we're expecting Houston. They should rest all of their players. They should take the week off. Now, there is some the Jets do kind of want to lose, improve their draft pick, but I expect Gase to want to finish the season on a positive note. I took the Jets +1.5 at -112 against the Bills team that I don't expect to be trying. What do you think of that?
The problem with the Bills, they seem to be a momentum team. They're obviously at home in the final game. Yes, I think they'll probably rest some, but I think they've got a bit of a pride about them. I think that's a really, really tricky game, but you're not giving up much of a number. I think Buffalo at -1.5, they win the game. They win the game by 2. Yeah, it's a real. I find it tough to understand why you've gone in that direction.
Well, John, you think Josh Allen's going to play?
I just think that, are you trusting the Jets to go into Buffalo and get the job done? The total's only 36.
Because there's not. I was thinking about going under that total. There's not going to be Josh Allen's not going to be playing. If he plays, what's he going to play? One drive?
Well, but again, I just think that Buffalo wanting to continue their momentum. I really do, and especially at home. Yeah,
Matt Barkley's going to be at quarterback for most of that game. He's terrible.
So he's going to be he's going to be out to impress though.
I wouldn't put Ed. Yeah, but who cares? Matt Barkley's been out to impress since USC's shit. Ed Oliver is not going to. I would
12-9 then.
I think that we make a bet. I think when we get more information on this game, I think we go under the total. The only issue would be, in fact, and maybe I take this back because now I'm saying it out loud. The only issue will be, look what will happen if the Bills don't have their key defensive players in the lineup. What if the Jets put out? See, the more I talk about it, I think the Jets +1.5 is a nice look. There's the Woj in the house right now. The Woj in the top 10 of this contest. The Woj joining us. I love when these guys who are succeeding. 11th, sorry. Woj 11. 59.37, the Woj here. My guy Andrew. 19 plus 19.94 units joining us. We have a celebrity here in the chat flash. The Woj joining us 11th out of 2,490.
Who's been? You just ask him. Who's been making his picks?
No, the Woj is a great capper, dude.
I know. Come on, that's exceptional.
Look, the Jets +1.5 is a gift.
Okay.
Now we're going to have to get more information, but my expectation is that this is a bye week for Buffalo. Barkley starts and they rest their best defensive players. So after talking it out, the more I think the Jets is a gift, and the more concerned I am about the total. The more concerned I am about going under that. In fact, I won't do that if the Bills are missing a ton of players. So those are my first 4 picks, and Flash has gone over his first 4 picks. What's the next pick on your board?
My next one is Oklahoma versus LSU under 75.5. I think that LSU put up around late 30s, maybe early 40s. I don't see Oklahoma getting anywhere near 30. So for me, I'm going with Oklahoma and LSU under 75.5.
Yeah, that's it's
a big number. That's a big number.
All you need is like one 5-minute drive to stall with a missed field goal, and you're in business. Yeah. I can't wait to watch that game, and I can get why you try to go underneath that massive number. I can get it. The Woj says, did you guys talk Alabama and Michigan? Thoughts on the game? No, but we can. It's not on my. Do you have a spot? Did you make Alabama Michigan on your? Did it make your card flash?
No. My next one nearly was my 2-unit play. I just went with, I want it to be my 2-unit play. I'm that strong on it. So I don't even know why I didn't, to be honest, my last pick. Well,
you've given us the lead in like that. Let's hear what it is.
Clemson -2, happy to give up 7. I think Clemson beat the Ohio State by a minimum of a touchdown. I have some good people in my camp who tell me 7 to 10, that's exactly what they're expecting. I know people that are going to work it up. So Clemson, there's something like 43-2, and the only 2 games they've lost is Alabama. So these are the champions that have gone undefeated again this year. I just see them doing the absolute number. They've got the experience, and this is the game over this weekend, apart from the 49ers and the Seahawks, that I'm looking forward to most. Come 8:00 Eastern time on Saturday night, and I'm going to be on live line with the rest of the gang because I've got someone in there who says that Clemson doesn't win.
Yeah, and you might have more than that because I might be taking the Ohio State as well. It's
really?
Funny. Yeah, I just got a few cappers in my ear that are just telling me that Ohio State's the play.
Don't listen. Don't listen.
Oh, I'm listening.
How can you listen when I told you that Clemson would win by 28 before the mark even came out on one occasion. And then
I don't care that they're beating shit football teams by big scores.
Right, but they're unbeaten. They're unbeaten.
That's shit football teams. They played the shitty. That conference was absolutely awful.
Okay, you're going to go by Ohio State. You started off this whole conversation 37 minutes ago by I shouldn't be listening to other people. I should go with my own judgment. And then you tell me in one of my strongest feelings that, well, I've got some people in my ear telling me the Ohio State.
I care very much about the level of competition.
Get on Saturday night, 8 o'clock Eastern time. I want you there now. No if, buts, or maybe. Be on it. Can you be on it?
I'm a very busy man, Flash.
I offered you a seat at the table.
AM says I'm all over the Ohio State. Seth Dominus is on Clemson. Rye Cape is on Clemson. And Dan Kelly says that line should be Ohio State -3.
Good. Well, we like Dan Kelly.
Well, that's why you're going to
get involved.
The Woj and Clemson. Sorry?
Why does Dan Kelly have to get involved? I was all right with all them people there. I'm like, oh, don't worry, Ohio State. And then Dan Kelly pops up with -3, Ohio State.
Yeah, it's going to be fun. And also, by the way, Rye Cape said they already announced that Barkley is starting for the Bills. I think that Jets +1.5 is a gift. Now we need to get some more information from what Adam Gase is saying. So we need to get a little bit more information. But I love seeing your blood start boiling, Flash. Makes me feel good. Okay, so
Carolina State. Come on, babies.
My last two spots on the board here, and we're not supposed to go too long on this show, but I'm on the Rams -7. I'm on two pretty big favorites here, and I'm a little nervous about this. I'm on the Rams -7. It's still at -7 as we speak. Kyler Murray's not going to be playing. McVay can prep for Hundley. I know that Hundley came in and looked good against the Seahawks, decimated defense, but McVay can prep for him. And then the Rams can finish off a disappointing season on a positive note.
It's only on the board four books now. You know that? There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 books have scrapped the Rams and Arizona. It's off the boards.
Yeah.
Have you beaten another market move here?
Again, this is the kind of thing where I haven't betted. I mean, it's off the board in my book. And then this is the kind of thing you want to hear McVay talk about it and talk about the spot. And we're not going to get an interview from him until tomorrow. But if you're prepping for if you're prepping for Hundley, you can beat them badly. You can beat this Cardinals team badly. And that's what I'm expecting. It's a game in LA to finish off the year, and a disappointing season. I'm expecting them just to stomp on the
only time recently they've let us down is when we had them against the Cowboys.
Oh God, that was a horrifying day. It was a horrifying day. And then my last play here, I'd be very curious to hear what you think about it. So this was almost if the market hadn't moved against that Falcons Bucs over, it would have been that play. My final spot on this card is the Saints, and they have to win because they have to put pressure on the Niners.
Exactly.
So if the Saints win, Niners lose, Saints get the 2 seed in the bye next week. So my guess is that they put a beatdown, just an absolute beatdown on these Panthers, and then just run the ball. So I think that the under is probably a look in this game as well. Let's see what that is. That's at 47.5. I wonder if I should at least write a note right here. I'm going to put the under as
it's pretty solid. It opened at 48. It's now 47.5. Although Pinnacle they're stuck at 48. I think you're probably better off just giving up the 13.
Well, that was my play here, and I love getting the chance to talk these games out with you on a Tuesday. It gives me a lot more because there's look, yes, I beat two of these games market moves by huge numbers in 2 hours or 3 hours, but but I didn't bet them, so it's not like I mean, yes, it's going to be nice for the content.
It's the one that I actually did put up, and you know what I'm like. I never really take them off the board, but I did take this one off the board. I was going to go with the Browns at -2.5 against the Bengals.
I thought about that look too. I just I can't trust. I'd love to hear what Dan has to say about his Browns. I thought about that look too. There's too much fear associated with backing this team ever. And it is a divisional game, so this is a tough spot. So the only thing is that the Bengals are locked into the number 1 pick no matter what.
Right, so they can just go out and free flow.
Exactly.
45 is the mark.
But the Bengals can go out and win this game, beat a division rival, and it not affect them getting the number 1 overall seed, and maybe gives, the more we talk about it, the more, and then Dalton gets a chance to audition for a team.
Yeah, no, I like that. The more we talk about it, because all of a sudden I was all over the Browns, and now I'm thinking home field, not going to do no damage with a W, and Dalton now has an opportunity to be in the shop window. So yeah, I mean, it does actually make sense of giving the Bengals 2.5. But if you look in the mirror and say I'm going to go with the Bengals plus 2.5.
Yeah, I think you'd be better off just grabbing a money line and getting a score there. You know what? I'm happy we talked this out. The Bengals are going to be a bet for me.
Was you not close to thinking at Miami getting 15.5 against the Patriots?
Very, very close. Very close. I would love to hear. We're in. I love that Dan and Andrew are talking about the big Michigan spot. We're going to go over their comments and stuff like that. But I was very close to taking the Dolphins. It's just that they're so different on the road than they are at home. Why didn't you put it on your card?
Just because I can't get involved with the Patriots, because they're just making who's going to play. They're not going to get any better. They're just going to win the game, and that's it. I mean, at 15.5, even in the height of the season, they weren't covering 15.5 on a few occasions. So for me, I just thought I'd leave it alone.
Yeah,
the under would have been the move, but then that's miles too low.
See, the Dolphins want to lose this game, and who cares, right? I mean, Flores would be like, we could play our best and lose this game. So, yeah, exactly. But it's possible that they could get the 2nd overall pick in the draft. Possible with a loss here, unlikely, but possible. Yeah. What is the total at?
44.5.
I'd have to take a look at what the weather is as well.
It's going to be cold. It's always cold up there around Christmas time.
I hear you, but this past Sunday the weather was spectacular in these cold environments. All right, so those are our picks here in the pick 6. Would you review your picks one time for us, Flash, and start with your 2-unit play?
Oh, of course, yeah. My 2-unit play is the Titans playing at the Texans. San Francisco -3 in the massive game against the Seahawks. Tampa Bay -1 at home to Atlanta. Atlanta, Tampa Bay over 49. I think it's a shootout. Clemson -2. Would have been happy to give up -5, 6, 7, maybe even 8. And Oklahoma and LSU under 75.5. 75.5 under.
God, it's going to be a fun game. Yeah. It's going to be a fun game. My 2-unit play is the Niners -3 at -123, and it's so funny that as soon as I took it, I knew that the Bears was a better look, and got the Bears +7 at -105. I mean, now I can just see Seattle stepping. I find it very difficult to believe that Lynch can come off the bench, come off the couch, and look good. Now, in saying that, if anybody can do it, it's Marshawn Lynch.
But we're talking about the 49ers. It's probably been the most consistent. And if you're going to get what you deserve in this sport, the 49ers win this game.
No, I agree.
Don't go anywhere near the field. If I gave you just one denarii to stick on this game, you would every time stick it on the 49ers -3.
Yeah, I just feel like knowing that the Bears are +1 now, I Would have liked to have made that my unit play. Bears +7 at -105. Packers -9.5 at -105. That's also a hit at 13. Jets +1.5 at -112. And I'm going to bet that. I'm going to bet that as soon as I find out about what's going on. As soon as I get a little bit more information on Gase. But I'm going to lock that in. I'm locking Jets +1.5. Then I'm on Rams -7.
I think that's a good look. I like that look. The Rams.
Yeah, I think,
-7 is nothing. Let me see if I can find you a -6.5. No, this is the one that's off the board. Seven in 4 places. Total's 49. I mean, if you don't think Arizona are turning up, then 49 is way too high.
You're absolutely right. You're absolutely right. That's going to go on. Okay, that's such a good call.
Both of them. I think you take the Rams giving up 7. Absolutely. And you go under 49.
Makes a ton of sense. It makes a ton of sense. And then I'm on Saints -13, and I think I'm going to grab the under on that. The Woj says, how about Oakland +3.5 at Denver? I tell you what, and there's Big Ragu in the house. Big Ragu in the house. And we got Doc NYC62. We have Big Ragu's alter ego in the chat. Woj says, how about Oakland +3.5 at Denver? I know that Oakland has this tiny sliver of a chance to make the playoffs, but Denver, it's a divisional game, and Denver would like nothing more to smash Oakland in the mouth, and that's what makes me concerned. I know there's a lot up for grabs for Oakland, but that's what makes me very uncomfortable about this spot. Flash, what do you think about the Woj? The Woj in 11th place in the Pick 6 contest, close to a nice big cash score. What do you think about Oakland +3.5 at Denver, Flash?
No, I see. I don't like going against Denver, especially at home, especially with the way that they've clicked. Obviously, they've not actually won every game, but they've played a lot better. They've completed a lot more. I think they're going to use this game to build. I don't think they're down in any tools at all. And with Oakland, wow, you don't want to be trusting them at all. I think there's probably 8 or 9 better looks than them.
Yeah, I think there's better looks on the board for sure. For sure. All right, let's close up shop with a little talk about this Alabama-Michigan game. Dan Kelly says 2 teams that are hugely disappointed in their season. Watch the first 10 minutes and put a live bet on which team looks motivated. The number won't matter if one team is into it and the other isn't. That makes a ton of sense. And the Woj says, Dan, I like your reasoning. Still betting Bama, though. Says, I know my Wolverines and under Harbaugh, we haven't played up to competition. Bama backups are better than Michigan starters and far superior. Woj says Bama will want to prove that they're one of the 4 best teams and make a statement against a big-time program like Michigan. I think that the Woj makes a lot of sense there. I think that this spot here, I still think that Alabama will play for pride, and if Michigan gets down, do you trust that they'll continue to fight is the question. Let's see what we're dealing with here. It's -7 across the board. That's what it opened at. So the opener at the Pinnacle opener has not moved, not 1 cent. -7, -108, -7, -108. It's gone up a point to 58.5. What do you think of motivation factors in this spot, Flash? Have you guys done your breakdown for the Michigan-Alabama game?
No, we haven't got to that yet. We're obviously probably only maybe 2 days away because obviously this is the New Year's Day game. Oh, Michigan. If only they could have an offense. I've got to go with Alabama, to be honest. I think Alabama are going to be sore. They're this is obviously their Super Bowl. I cannot believe the fall from grace of Alabama. We know that Michigan, they play hard, but they don't put enough points on the board. I think 58.5 maybe is a bit too low. I think that we might see a little bit of carnival atmosphere. Guns to my head, I'm going for Alabama -7, and I'll go over the 58 in the hook.
My concern about the over is Alabama could show up and smash. And if they do, how many? You just talked about Michigan's offense. So we have a final score from Jerry DeVito of 38-17.
Okay, 55, so it's right on the money. So, the first thing we're going to say is Alabama -7. There's one going 7.5. I'm comfortable with Alabama giving up the touchdown.
I think so. Seth's model has Alabama by 21.
Wow.
But the Woj is with you. The Woj is with you on both your looks. Says Alabama and the over. It says 49-24 in that range. There's DX Filer in the house. David Chamilio says blowout too. So I'm sure he's thinking that.
Yeah. So I mean, the first thing we were saying is that we think that Bama are going to go and get the job done. I think they're going to be angry animals, a little embarrassed, and if they get ahead, I think there's going to be pedal to the metal. I don't think they're coming off it. You know what I mean? I think we're going to see fireworks. I think we're going to see this is us. This is the real Alabama. A little bit too late in the day, but I want to show. I think -7 is probably a gift on New Year's Day.
Well, from a betting standpoint here in NFL, the more that we've talked about it, I'm going to make some moves. Let me tell you
now that -7 is -105 with Heritage, which is obviously it's a great number when you've got others going -115 and -110s, but they're a standout. Heritage are -105 at -7.
The Rams are still off the board at my book.
Okay, let's have a look. I saw four books were still there, but I think that they are off the board, and it's just a case of them just being late to the party. Let's have a look. 1, 2, 3. Only 4. They're all going juiced, apart from Heritage again. I mean, -7 at -105. It might be an idea to have a little look at Heritage and see if they're actually dealing in what they're advertising.
Yeah, there's no doubt about it. The Jets +1.5, though. It's just
you keep going back to the Jets.
Yeah, and God, as soon as I said that, Flash, I just had a nightmare of last year. What if Barkley does? But to me, the Bills have to they have to rest some defenders. They have to. And there's David Chamilio saying thoughts on Clemson, Ohio State. I'm leaning Ohio State. We've already got into that game, David, and it was fun watching Flash get his temperature up. Flash back in Clemson in a big way, and I'm close to pulling the trigger on Ohio State.
And I wish you were sitting next to me.
Well, it's possible. So Saturday?
Give me false hope. We've had this conversation 17 weeks, not just at the weekend. The problem with hope is hope itself. And I want you next to me come Saturday night at 7 o'clock across the weekend.
I could jump in. I can jump in for a bit on this show because I have to fly back to Costa Rica the following day, so I can possibly.
So you're going to be with me next week?
Yeah.
For the playoff?
Oh yeah, I'll be there. Dan Kelly says Sean McDermott is too smart to care about the Jets. I agree with that. Okay, this could put some break. Figaro says Clemson will be my largest play of the year, and that's still what. Wow. Okay. All right.
Okay, so we've got some big guns here, haven't we? We could almost have like a Shogun Total War type situation here.
But there's Shane saying Clemson will get owned. OSU is superior to them. Yeah, thank you, Shane. Give me a little bit of confidence back.
They're just trying to help you now.
Well, they're doing it.
By the way, it's been the quickest 55 minutes of my life. I've absolutely loved it. We should have a 4-hour show.
Flash, I love working with you, man. It's a lot of fun, and it was a lot of fun mentioning to you that Ohio State might be on my card and seeing your.
Maybe now. I thought I just heard a little maybe on my card. Well, Clemson's on mine. Come on, I think it's Tigers. Final Tigers. Let them roar.
You guys, thank you so much for joining us on this Christmas Eve. All the cappers in the chat. Also, the Woj joining us 11th in the Pick Six contest. We had royalty. Yeah, we had royalty joining us. Schnizzle, Shane Moen, Joe Rich, Big Ragu, Rodney Jones saying, will Clemson score go over? We had 2 predictions of the final score, Rodney, and one had it going over and one had it. Actually, no, that was Alabama, Michigan.
Michigan, yeah.
Yeah. What do you think of the final score in Clemson, Ohio State, Flash? Do you think that's an over or under situation?
I'm happy to go around the 65. So that would be, is that just over? Is the spread 62?
Let me pull it up right now. The Clemson spread is, oh God, it's going to be a big game. I'm pumped about it, man. The Clemson spread is 63. And it hasn't moved. Actually, it moved up to half point in some books.
Yeah. So I'm going to go for 45-28 or 48. No. I tell you what, I'm going over. I go 40s for Clemson, and I go late 20s, early 30s for the Ohio State. So I'm thinking it's going to be close to 70.
Flash, I know your son's been on a nice run here in NCAA football. Is he back in Clemson here?
Yeah, up 7 to double digits.
Okay. Okay, Mr. Gokster, DX Filer, Dan Kelly, Seth Dominus, Jerry DeVito, Robert Kahn, Dave Chamilio, all you guys, thank you. Moses Saucedo, AM, Doc, New York City, 62. Rye Cape, all you guys, thank you so much for spending your Christmas Eve morning with Flash, myself, and the Pick Six Show, the Playoff Drive Live Pick Six Show. A lot of fun. Flash, any last words for these great cappers in the chat and those watching at home?
Back the Tigers. Back the Tigers.
And Vortex 00. I hope you can handle the pressure.
Yeah, don't buy it. Make the selections, Vortex. I want to see 6 pending.
The pressure up 0.99 units. You're this close to 6 Gs. Can you get there, Vortex? Can you get there? Or will the cheese or Fonzo take that cash from you and your family? Let's see. The pressure is on. The pressure is on.
The heat is on.
You do look like you're Top Gun right now. You do look like you're Maverick, like you're ready to
dreams.
Look like you're ready to sob over your friend Goose's death.
Yeah.
There he is. Flash, and now it's Flash. I love working with you, man. Enjoy your Christmas tomorrow, my friend.
Okay, plenty of love to the family. Make sure you send it.
I will, for sure. I will, for sure, send it, and you as well, my friend. Thank you guys for joining us, and I think we did some good work here. On this card, so there's moves I will make, and those of you in the top 6 of the Pick 6 contest who didn't get the Bears +7, I hope it costs you everything. Much love to you guys. On behalf of Flash, myself, and everybody at SBR, thank you for watching. Have a wonderful, wonderful Christmas. Spend time with your family, because we have a very, very intense few weeks right after Christmas where we won't want to have anything to do with them. So much love to you guys. Thank you guys for watching. And Flash and I are out. As soon as I can figure out how to do that, we're out.
4 hours.
Much love to you guys.
God bless.